This morning, some people in Lawrence County want 5 students expelled after a photo with a racial slur got posted to social media. On Friday at the West Lawrence versus Bleckley County football game, tough time to start a business anytime, but right now it's really rough out there.
Yes.
Election day, it's only a few weeks away. One of the races that could determine the control of the Senate is right here in our state. And I'm Wanya Reese. Thank you so much for starting your week with us. The first full week of October, somebody's birthday. It's coming up.
Birthday coming up.
Absolutely beautiful start to the day across central Georgia, but you're definitely going to need a nice jacket. If you're like me and you don't have a lot of hair, a hat would probably help as well. Wanya Reese, we are continuing our live back to school coverage. We're going to have live reports for you all this week. And today I'm live here at Southwest High School. Our Taylor Hicks, she's going to join us live at 6 a.m. from Monroe County. Here by the superintendent of the city school system, Dr. Fred Williams. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning. I'm excited and we're cheering on the new year.
I know, I can hear them. They're pretty fired up. So what is your message to parents and students as you all prepare for this first day of school?
We're excited. We're looking forward.
I'm joining you live from a beautiful downtown Macon. We are getting you ready for the pinkest party on earth. I don't know about you, but I am so excited. So let me explain to you what happens. Veterans, they come through these doors, they open them up, of course, they sign in, they get briefed about the COVID-19 vaccine, and then after that, they actually get the vaccine. But let's go ahead and jump into a little bit of the numbers. I got a chance to speak with. Thank you, Alex. We'll check in with you soon. This morning, the eyes of the world, they are on Britain as the nation says its last goodbye to Queen Elizabeth II.
Right now.
Absolutely amazing life that she lived. And yesterday, President Joe Biden signed the official condolence book and attended a reception at Buckingham Palace hosted by King Charles III.
President Biden.
Now, closer to home as the world pauses for the burial of Queen Elizabeth in England, a woman here in central Georgia is feeling the impacts of the Queen's death because of her roots in the UK.
The day the Queen died, the owner of the British Pantry and
Sheriff Brian Robinson says it started with the family's dog attacking an older man's cat. Sheriff Robinson says 47-year-old John Usry had just arrived to his son's home off of Telfair County Line Road Friday night when he witnessed 71-year-old Ronnie Reeves shooting his son's dog. The sheriff says the dog reportedly got out and attacked Reeves's cat. Shortly after Usry stepped out of his vehicle, Reeves shot him once in the chest, killing him. The dog was shot in the leg, but is alive. The sheriff says Usry's grandchildren and daughter-in-law were at the home when the shooting happened. The Dodge County Sheriff's Office says Reeves was arrested Friday night and faces several charges, including malice murder and aggravated assault. 5:35 here on your Monday morning. Today's the deadline for you to claim your loved one's ashes here in Macon-Bibb County. Back in July, the county said ashes of 166 people were unclaimed. Any remains unclaimed after today will be memorialized in historic Rose Hill Cemetery and a dedicated memorial garden. Now, if you want to claim your loved one's ashes, you must file with the Superior Court Clerk's Office online through odysseyfilega.com. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at your state news. A longtime Atlanta music executive and manager of hip-hop artist Ludacris is now facing murder charges. Police say in June they described Ahmed Afwimi, known as Shaka Zulu, as a victim involved in a shooting outside a Buckhead strip mall that left a person dead. But this morning, Zulu is charged with murder. Atlanta homicide investigators identified Zulu as a suspect in the late June shooting and got warrants for his arrest. Police say he turned himself in at the Fulton County Jail on Tuesday, and he is charged with murder, aggravated assault, and 2 other charges.
Vet bill's going up, and you want your dog to be happy.
And a healthy dog is a happy dog.
So take your dog for a walk and stop feeding your dog all those table scraps. I see you. I'm talking to you. Now, experts say
you're talking to me over here, Wanya.
I'm talking to you, Caitlin. Experts say owners should talk to their veterinarian before starting any regular fitness routines for your dog. But Coco is definitely in shape, Caitlin.
Oh, yeah. She's running up and down that fence all day, every day. She burns it off, that's for sure. All right, 5:40.
Man, now the church says it's already planning for next year, and they hope to bring some special guests as well. Well, the 30th annual Okmulgee Indigenous Celebration is a wrap after spreading cultural awareness and history. The mounds hosted folks from across the U.S. and taught people about the Muskogee Creek Nation from their traditional crafts, storytelling, music, and dance. Many folks from Oklahoma that are part of that group actually came to celebrate. So back in 1827, the Creeks were forced to move to Oklahoma from Okmulgee.
Just the Native Americans, everyone here, and being able to experience with others, our family, is a unique experience as well, and it really enriches each other. We get to learn more about each other. In Oklahoma, we're really spread out, so we don't always get together. So it's really nice to be able to share and have our own people with us.
It's so cool because Macon has such a rich history. Now, the U.S. Interior Secretary visited the national park and highlighted her department's efforts to strengthen Indian country. A Baldwin County man tells me that the COVID-19 vaccine is his ticket to freely enjoy life again, but he hasn't been able to schedule an appointment with the North Central Health District. This comes as the district has announced that all of their vaccines have been booked, meaning they can't schedule any more appointments. It's a sound that's familiar for 80-year-old Doug Farrell.
I started calling at 8 o'clock on Monday morning, and I went till about 9:15. I got a busy signal every time, which was about probably 200 or 300 times.
Farrell says no matter what time he calls, the phone line is always busy.
It's very frustrating. You wonder if they're doing anything to improve it.
The North Central Health District says their phone lines have been slammed all this week, but they are working on a new plan once more vaccines become available.
We will be pushing out a secondary number for individuals to call. We will also be improving our staffing numbers next week.
Michael Hawkinson says they will have about 10 more staffers to work the phone lines.
There are going to be some people that will be experiencing a busy signal, will be experiencing a drop-off because the lines are absolutely flooded.
He says they are looking at adding an online option, but want to make sure it keeps your information secure and that their staff can handle the callbacks. For Farrell, he just wants an appointment sooner rather than later.
For you, getting the vaccine would return some normalcy back to your life.
Absolutely.
Reporting in Macon, Wanya Reese, 13 WMAZ News. It's 6:06, so it's time to put some yay in your day, Central Georgia. This segment is all about celebrating the people in our communities who bring positivity every single day. This morning, I want to introduce you to a Twiggs County educator who is doing a lot in the classroom and also in her community. Let's take a look. For close to a decade.
Here at about 7:15. The school day starts at about 7:30. So, we get in and you never know what you run into.
Mia Hunt has walked the hallways of Twiggs County Middle and High School.
There's been a couple of instances when I've smiled, and I've smiled really hard at some kids, and they will literally say, "You just made me smile."
Hunt's infectious smile fills the hallways in her classroom as she leads special education.
It's different every day, but I think if you take it one day at a time and you take it one step at a time, you'll get through it.
On top of being a teacher, Hunt is a mom, cheer coach, a makeup artist, and even runs a nonprofit called Lifted by Love, geared towards mentoring young women.
And so I feel like with my real life instances, things that I've had, to happen in my past, having children at a young age. I was 15 when I got pregnant with my first child. And so I think a lot of children look at me now and not realize I was just where you were.
And if you ask Hunt's co-workers, they agree. She is a diamond in the Twiggs County school system.
Came on June 1st, and one of the first persons that I was able to meet was Ms. Hunt. Ms. Hunt has been an invaluable part of my transition team. She serves on my leadership team. She's a part of my PBIS committee. She's actually the chair for the middle school PBIS committee.
From the person in charge at her school to a district leader.
And she's learned some of the best 2 letters in the alphabet. Okay. Just say okay and get it done. No excuses.
Everyone who comes into contact with Hunt can't help but smile when talking about her. So what is her secret to putting the yay in people's day?
Oh, it's God. It's God, hands down. I have a very strong church family. I will give them those flowers because they definitely need it.
With her faith plus family, Hunt is ready to continue smiling for years to come. Man, I absolutely loved putting this story together. Shout out to you, Mrs. Hunt. Now, coming up in our next half hour, Mrs. Hunt is going to be joining us live on set to share more about her story. And last year with Yay in Your Day, I was live, but this year I'm in the studio. But don't think we're not going to yay it up. So Caitlin's going to let you know how you can nominate somebody.
Exactly. Oh, man.